Webster defines intelligence as the capacity to learn and solve problems, specifically novel problems, to act rationally or to act like humans. So what's involved with intelligence? Perception, understanding, actions, speech recognition and understanding synthesis, image understanding, the ability to take actions, to model an external world given an input, solve new problems, plan, and deal with unexpected certainties. Artificial intelligence attempts to build intelligent entities as well as understand them. There are three main vectors of artificial intelligence. Machine learning teaches systems to recognize patterns, curated knowledge reproduces problem-solving steps experts use, and reverse engineering the brain uses sensors to determine which part of the brain performs which functions.
I think it's hype. To me, AI means Android streaming an electric sheep.
Deep Blue, a computer. Kasparov won the first game in a breeze, but the next day he got the shock of his life. To Kasparov, Deep Blue played the second game much more strongly, differently. Unlike a computer, he said. Kasparov conceded.
How do you see artificial intelligence and reshaping the way people work in the next 15 years?
15 years is a wide span. I'd say over the next 5 to 10, AI is going to be the single biggest change we're going to see in the entire world, bar none. The effects that you're starting to see now are automation of certain tasks, and that's really just the beginning, because like at a high level, what AI is just a lot of really good pattern matching. And the problem is that the benefit we as humans have always had above technology has been that pattern matching, right? The ability to look at an apple and recognize it's an apple. The fact that computers can now do that means you can automate just about everything. And it's starting with simple tasks of computation and logic behind computers that we've started to use unanimously all ourselves. What it's moving to now is some of the more complex logical questions. So for example, the ability to take in a bunch of different senses in a car and automate the driving.
The ride-sharing giant came to Pittsburgh for its latest disruption, the country's first autonomous taxi service. Select Uber users can now ride in self-driving cars with trained engineers at the wheel, just in case. Of course, if they do their job right, they won't be needed forever.
Here we go.
Inside, riders are greeted by a tablet that shows them how the car works and how it sees the world. Uber plans to introduce a fleet of autonomous Volvo SUVs early next year, but it's using Ford Fusions for the time being.
Artificial intelligence inside self-driving cars has great potential to reduce emissions through congestion mitigation, platooning, smoother accelerations, and crash avoidance. However, they are much more likely to increase emissions because of the increased weight due to luxury features, increased travel demands, and increased highway speeds. We will need to answer critical questions such as, can we build hardware as complex as the brain, and how can we make complex computers? The inner workings of the brain are complex. The neuron, or nerve cell, is an information processing unit, and there are 10 to the 12 neurons in a human brain. There are even more connecting those neurons, and the average cycle time is 1,000th of a second. Computers, by contrast, have 10 to the 8 transistors per CPU, and supercomputers have hundreds of CPUs, averaging cycle times at 10 to the minus 9 seconds. So yes, in the near future, we will have computers with as many basic processing elements as our brain, but with far fewer interconnections and much faster updates.
How do you see people, the world, reacting to that in the future, and how do you think that's going to affect wealth redistribution?
Oh, it's going to suck. I think we're going to have, it's going to come in slow waves. So the first wave we've already seen, you have a lot of jobs where you can go in and have one person operate a computer to handle the tasks of, let's say, 10, 20. And what that's done is it's just shifted our priorities in the workforce, right? You have a lot of more high-level cognitive tasks, a lot less of the low-level just manipulation tasks. Mm-hmm. And that's slowly starting to spread out internationally as well in the manufacturing and automation fields. But what's going to happen is that the rate of replacement is going to surpass the rate of retraining of the employees in better jobs. So you're going to have situations where you're replacing a 45-year-old worker who has done this in their entire lives and are not in a place where they can be retrained to become a computer programmer. And I think that's where we're going to have some serious effects.